there. I read something today and want to see if you agree. One major news source says that 1 in 4 Americans has a clutter problem. Yeah, I know I'm one of those 1 in 4. How about you? Another statistic I recently read was that the average American home contains 300,000 items. That's a lot. And there's no way to back this up. There's no data, hard data to show that. But suffice to say, we all have lots of stuff in our house. So today let's talk about what exactly is clutter and what do we do with it once we realize that we do have clutter. So stick around, we're going to talk about that. So if we haven't met before, my name is Angie, and my husband Bill and I live here in Louisiana, where we have way too many possessions, but we are working on decluttering. We are on the road to simple. We've been on the road for a couple of years now. It's a slow process, but steady process. So hoping that you're on this road to simple with me and we can discuss things that we can learn from each other to make it an easier journey. So let's start this discussion today with this. You don't have to know all the answers to start decluttering, but you do have to start so that you can learn those answers on what to do. So if you've been procrastinating and think I just don't know where to start, well, we're going to start here today. So we're going to start with a couple of decisions. The first decision that you have to make is, do I have clutter, and what is the clutter that I have? And the second decision that you have to make is, how do I get rid of that clutter? How do I let that clutter go? So before we get to those two things, let's talk about exactly what is clutter. And I like to say, my definition is, if it's something that's not adding value to my life, it's not serving a purpose in my life, in the stage that I'm in right now, then it's clutter. I recently read something that an expert, how she explains it is that decluttering is the process of getting your life back into balance based on adapting to the place that you are in your life now. And that's the thing that we have to realize, is that we're always adapting, we're always changing. So we're always going to have clutter. So here's what I want you to understand. Clutter, stuff, the stuff that's in your house, it's kind of neutral. It's there, but the reason the clutter is there is you gave it permission to come in your house at one time. And at one time, it meant something to you, it was valuable to you. But these items come into our homes and then they sit there while we continue to go on with our lives. We continue to grow and change, and life happens. All kinds of things happen. But that stuff still just sits there and accumulates. So while it is a mess, it's your mess, I guess you would say, I don't want you to look at it as that it's all your fault, because those things have been there when they were serving a purpose, but you've gone on with your life, you've evolved, you've changed, you've had kids, you've grown older, all kinds of things happen where those things are no longer of value to you, so they are clutter now. But you just have to realize that all of our things, almost all of our things, just naturally become clutter. So that's not your fault. you grow and change and the clutter happens. But what you can do is you can learn to see that and learn what you can do about that and be in a place where you can trust yourself to make the right decisions to let that clutter go. Okay, let's talk about what exactly is clutter. So here's a couple of things that you can check off to determine if something is clutter or not. Do I love the item? Do I use the item? Do I have space to keep the item? And is it something that fits the season of life that I'm in right now? So, for example, I've got a book here. Do I love this book? I loved it when I read it. I did love it years ago. But there are plenty of things that I love. I could love a lot of things, but I only have one house, one container to put all these things in. So just because I love something doesn't mean that I have room to keep it. I have a bookcase, but my bookcase is pretty full. I need to declutter that, so I don't really have space. I'm going to let this book go. In this stage of my life, I might be reading things online more. Why I've been holding on to it, just in case I might read it some other day. Or years down the road, I might pick it up and read it again. But think about this. Maybe there's someone out there that would absolutely love to read this right now. So the other part of the equation, the decisions I talked about that you need to make a decision. What is clutter and how am I going to let that go? And if I know that I think, oh, this is such a good book, I know there'll be someone out there that would like this. If I take it to Goodwill, this is going to bless someone. Then that's a good feeling to let something go. Or maybe you have, say you have an aquarium in the basement that you don't use anymore, but you think, well, one day I might get that back out and get fish again. But you've got a neighbor across the street that has a little girl that would love to have that. So you find a way that feels good to you to let something go. So you know it's going to someone that will take care of it or will enjoy it. Or perhaps another way to let things go is you could sell them and you could make a little money. Or you could recycle and you know, do the environment a favor and recycle some things. So find out what ways work for you to be able to let go of something. And the thinking about what is clutter and trying to determine what do I really have space, do I really love it, those questions, and how am I going to let go? Well, I just don't want to just throw it away. Once you figure out ways that you can let things go that feel good to you, then you know half the battle, more than half the battle is done. The actual doing of going through decluttering is not hard once you make those decisions. So I just kind of want to give you some encouragement to think about things that way. And also, you know, when you do see that you have clutter, don't beat yourself up about it and don't try to jump in and just tackle it all and try to get it all done right away. Take time to think about it. That's part of the process, and just move at a pace that works for you. You don't want to get overwhelmed where you feel like you can't do it. And once you work at that pace and feel comfortable about what you're doing, the more you do it, the easier it is. I promise. The more you do it, the easier it is. So I hope this has helped you, give you some ideas on how to figure out what is clutter in your home, where to start, how to get rid of it, the decision process that you need to go through to comfortably be able to do that. So, also, I want to remind you that decluttering is not a one and done deal. I think you know that. I think I probably don't have to tell you that, but there are some organization shows out there that talk about, oh, you can just organize everything, declutter everything, and you're done. Well, this is a lifetime skill. Once you learn this, the more you do it, the more comfortable you are. You trust your decisions, and you just constantly will do this. I mean, a couple of months from now, you could maybe see a pile of things before it gets to the mound of clutter that you're dealing with right now. But as you do this over the years, then you can see something and say, I think that might need my attention. I can spend a little bit of time decluttering that. And it's not a massive ordeal. So just remember that decluttering is a lifestyle. If you've enjoyed this video, if you give me a thumbs up, I really would appreciate it. It helps me to grow my channel, and of course I would love for you to subscribe so that we can meet together and talk about things like this again. So I look forward to seeing you again, and wherever you are right now, I hope you're keeping it simple, and I will see you in my next video. Take care. Love to you. Bye-bye.